You know, sometimes I think the most damaging things we do in our relationships are the ones we don't even realize we're doing. The little habits, the unspoken expectations, the things we think are just part of being married. But honey, let me tell you, those little things, they add up. This isn't about guilt, it's about growth. These 7 habits may seem small, but they can quietly steal intimacy, peace, and connection from your relationship. It's about recognizing those patterns and choosing a different way. Now, how many of you have wished your partner could just read your mind? Chuckles. It's a common fantasy, isn't it? The idea that someone could just understand us without us having to say a word. We've all been there, right? That moment when you think, if he really loved me, he'd know what I need right now. But let's be honest, life isn't a romantic movie where the hero always knows the perfect thing to say or do. But here's the thing. Women often assume our emotional needs should be obvious. We think that our partners should just get it, without us having to spell it out. But men, they often process things differently. They might be more focused on solving problems or dealing with things in a more straightforward manner. They don't always pick up on the subtle cues we send. Those little hints or silent treatments might go completely unnoticed. And when you don't voice your needs directly, he may interpret your silence as satisfaction. He might think that everything is perfectly fine because you haven't said otherwise. He thinks everything's fine because you haven't said otherwise. He might be completely oblivious to the fact that you're feeling neglected or overwhelmed. Think about it. Like when you're hoping he'll offer to help with the kids, but you don't actually ask. You might be running around feeling exhausted and just wishing he'd step in. You just keep going, feeling more and more resentful as the minutes tick by. Each moment that passes without him noticing your struggle adds to your frustration. Then, when he doesn't volunteer, you feel hurt and unappreciated. It's like a cycle of disappointment that keeps repeating itself. But honey, he's not a mind reader. He might be completely unaware of the turmoil you're going through. This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about understanding that clear communication is key. Men thrive on it. They appreciate knowing exactly what you need and how they can help. So instead of hoping he'll pick up on your unspoken cues, try expressing your needs directly. Tell him what you need, how you're feeling, and what he can do to support you. You might be surprised by how receptive he is when you simply ask for what you need. Clear communication can transform your relationship, making it stronger and more fulfilling for both of you. Now, this next one is so important for creating a foundation of respect in your marriage. We all know relationships have their ups and downs, and sometimes we need to address things we're not happy about. But honey, there's a time and a place for everything. And correcting your partner in public, even if it seems like a small thing, can be incredibly damaging. Public correction can feel like a betrayal. It undermines his confidence and can create resentment that festers over time. Think about it. How would you feel if he contradicted you or corrected you in front of your friends? It's about choosing kindness and respect, even when you're frustrated. If something he says or does bothers you, wait until you're in private to address it. Remember, you're a team, and teams support each other, especially in public. You know, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, the constant rush, the never-ending to-do lists, and the responsibilities that seem to pile up can make us lose sight of the small, yet significant moments that truly matter. We get so focused on the to-do lists and the responsibilities that we forget to appreciate the little things our partners do for us. These small acts, though they may seem insignificant in the grand scheme of things, are actually the building blocks of a strong and loving relationship. But those small acts of kindness, those everyday gestures of love, they matter. They are the silent ways in which we communicate our love and care for each other. A smile shared over a cup of coffee, a gentle touch, or a kind word can make all the difference. When those small things go unnoticed, it can lead to feelings of being taken for granted. Over time, this can create a sense of distance and disconnection in the relationship. It's like a slow erosion of the bond that once felt so strong. He might start to wonder if you even notice the effort he's making. Doubts can creep in, and he may feel unappreciated and undervalued. This can lead to a cycle of resentment and frustration, which is harmful to any relationship. Think about it. Like when he makes your coffee just the way you like it, with the perfect amount of cream and sugar, taking the time to remember your preferences. It's a small gesture, but it speaks volumes about his love and attention to detail. But you don't acknowledge it. You might be busy or distracted, but a simple thank you can mean the world to him. It shows that you see and appreciate his efforts. Or when he remembers to pick up your dry cleaning even though he had a million other things on his mind. It's these thoughtful actions that demonstrate his commitment and care. These little gestures are his way of saying, "I love you, and I'm thinking of you." They are his way of showing that you are a priority in his life, despite the chaos and demands of the world around him. And I'm thinking of you. It's important to recognize and appreciate these moments, to let him know that his efforts are not going unnoticed. So take a moment to express your appreciation. A simple thank you for doing that, honey. I appreciate it can go a long way in making him feel seen and valued. It reinforces the bond you share and strengthens your connection. A simple thank you for doing that, honey. I appreciate it can go a long way in making him feel seen and valued. It's a small effort on your part, but it can have a profound impact on your relationship, fostering a deeper sense of love and mutual respect. Now, I know we wear many hats: wives, mothers, career women, and it's easy to get caught up in the demands of those roles. But honey, here's the truth. Your marriage needs to be nurtured just like any other important relationship in your life. While children and work are incredibly important, neglecting your relationship can create distance and resentment over time. Think about it. When was the last time you and your husband had a real conversation, one that wasn't about the kids' schedules or the bills? When did you last make time for just the two of you, even if it was just a quiet evening at home? It's about finding those pockets of time to reconnect, to remember why you fell in love in the first place. Schedule date nights, even if it's just once a month. Make time for intimacy and connection. Remember, a strong and loving marriage creates a foundation of stability and happiness for your entire family. This next one is so important, and it's not about vanity, honey. It's about something much deeper and more meaningful. It's about self-love and self-respect. Now, I'm not saying you need to be dolled up to the nines 24/7. It's not about looking perfect all the time. But taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally is crucial for your self-worth and confidence. When you invest time in yourself, it shows. And that radiance spills over into every aspect of your life, including your marriage. Your partner will notice the difference, and it can strengthen your bond. When you feel good about yourself, you show up differently in your relationship. You bring positive energy and enthusiasm. You're more likely to be present, engaged, and loving. Your interactions become more meaningful and fulfilling. But when you let self-care slide, it's easy to feel run down, resentful, and disconnected. You might start to feel like you're just going through the motions. Think about it. If you're constantly putting yourself last on the list, neglecting your own needs, it can take a toll on your self-esteem. You deserve better. And that can impact how you interact with your partner. You might become irritable or distant without even realizing it. So it's essential to recognize the signs and take action. Make time for yourself, even if it's just for 15 minutes a day. Take a relaxing bath, read a good book, or simply sit in silence and breathe. These small acts of self-care can make a big difference. Go for a walk in nature, feel the fresh air on your face, and let the beauty of the world around you rejuvenate your spirit. Do something that nourishes your soul. Whether it's painting, meditating, or engaging in a hobby you love, these moments of self-care are vital. Remember, taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's necessary. When you prioritize your well-being, you bring your best self to your relationship. Now, this one's a silent relationship killer. We've all been there, right? You see another couple on social media, or you hear your friend gushing about her husband, and you start to compare your own relationship. But honey, comparison is the thief of joy. When you compare your husband to other men, even silently, it breeds dissatisfaction and undermines his unique qualities. It's like you're holding him to an impossible standard, one that's based on snippets and highlight reels instead of real life. Think about it. Every relationship is different. Every couple has their own strengths and weaknesses, their own unique dynamic. Instead of focusing on what other couples have, try focusing on the good in your own relationship. Appreciate your husband for who he is, flaws and all. Remember, you fell in love with him for a reason. Now, I know when you're hurt or angry, the last thing you might feel like doing is being affectionate. It's natural to want to withdraw and protect yourself. But honey, withholding affection can create emotional distance and unresolved tension in your marriage. Think about it. When you withhold affection, you're essentially shutting your partner out. You're sending the message that you don't want to connect, that you're not open to reconciliation. Now, I'm not saying you have to pretend everything's okay when it's not, but even when you're upset, try to maintain a basic level of physical and emotional connection. A simple touch, a hug, or even just making eye contact can go a long way in keeping the lines of communication open and reminding each other that you're still there for each other, even through the tough times. You know, none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes in our relationships. But self-awareness is love in action. It's about recognizing those patterns that might be causing harm and making a conscious choice to do things differently. And every step you take to love better brings softness, strength, and sacredness into your home. Which one of these spoke to you the most? Let's talk in the comments.